How are you guys feeling today?
Pretty good.
That's good, that's good. It's cold outside.
It
Oh
is very
yeah.
cold
Yeah.
outside, but you know what? I'm happy to be here.
Yeah, I'm happy I can, hear you through that meeting too. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, tell me about, like, your experience throughout, like, players, like, what made you guys wanna join it, and, like, what made you guys wanna do, like, performing arts as you got here?
I'll go first.
Yeah.
So I started doing theater like right before I got into high school, and I started to do shows at Iona Preparatory, which is the all boys school, like right down the road from here. And I've actually been working with Jason since my freshman year of high school. So after finding out that he also did shows here, I knew that I wanted to continue doing the shows here with him as well. So that was something that really drew me to Iona.
Mhm. What about
Um,
you?
well, similar to Jen, I also started high school. Well, I started theater in high school, specifically my senior year. All my friends were telling me to do it. They were like, "Oh, you can sing. You should totally do theater." And I was like so hesitant because I've never acted before.
Yeah.
So it took me till senior year to actually get talked into doing it. And I joined it. I did my first like straight play there, and
Mhm.
then I did my first musical there as well, and that's actually where I met Jen, and similar to Jen, Jason was a big help in terms of, getting me involved and really just inspired me to kind of keep going with theater as
Yeah.
well as Jen.
Mhm.
So when I heard that he was working here, I was like, "Oh my god, I have to continue,
Yeah.
theater here. That'd be so cool."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I enjoy that too because I know you've been working with Jason since, like, high school, middle school, and then when, like, I met him too, like, I thought he was just a part of, like, the college here, like, I thought he actually, like, worked here when I first got here, and then, like, when I met him, I'm like, this is, like, one of the coolest people I've ever met in this entire school." And then, like, he started directing, like, Rent, Twelfth Night. We just did Urinetown. We're about to do Sideshow next, and I'm like, he's gonna be here for, like, every single play that we do. So he's definitely a really, really nice director, also a very supporting person, so
Very thankful
Definitely.
yeah,
for him.
yeah. Actually, speaking of Sideshow, how are you, like, guys feeling about it? And would you mind, like, sharing your callbacks? I actually don't know who you guys got.
I'll go first.
Yeah,
I'll go
first, yeah.
first. So I got a call back for Daisy, which is one of the twins. Um, I'm gonna be really honest, I haven't fully watched the show yet. I do plan to do it tonight or at some point before callbacks. I will have it done before callbacks happen.
Mhm,
I got called back for, Buddy and Jeannie.
mhm.
I only know one of the characters. I watched the show, like, once. I think it was at, like, 2 in the morning. I was, like, half asleep watching it. So I also might have to rewatch it. Yeah, I'm really excited. I have a good feeling about the show.
There's never a show without you being the main, male lead
Oh,
in
stop.
roles, Tristan. Like like, every show, like, Mark, you were Sebastian, you were, Bobby Strong, now you're gonna be Buddy. I'm like, what's going on, bro?"
Yeah, and then we just happen.
Yeah. Well, that's cool, though, that's cool, that's cool. How are you guys feeling today about the, lessons in Carol and also the winter concert? Because that's literally today right after the
Yeah.
show
I
too.
know. I'm really excited for it. And the Ingles have been working really hard with preparing their songs and everything. We've had a couple gigs like this past week, so with those gigs, we've gotten to practice our songs more. So I'm really looking forward to tonight.
Mhm.
Yeah, same with Jen. We're practicing really hard, and I mean, based off what we did last year for, the Lessons to Girls, I'm really excited for it. It was just a really nice experience just to have that, like, space to, just have a almost, like, peaceful kinda concert.
Yeah.
It was a different take on a concert, so it was pretty cool to do that, and, we're just together singing Christmas songs, so it's
Yeah, I remember, last year when I watched the winter concert, I wasn't a part of, like, the ensemble or, like, the Nightingales and, like, what everybody was doing on stage, and I just remember, Sal Santelli from, Instrumental Ensemble and Puppet, he was like, "Yo, dude, I gotta join one of the ensembles, bro," and I'm like, "You know what? Imma try out for it this year," and I went for a vocal ensemble, for my first semester. I loved it. I loved the performances we've done, the practices, and now we're about to go into the, winter concert for it, so I'm looking forward to performing. And I feel like also as well, it doesn't seem too long as far as I've seen before. So, definitely looking forward to that and the lessons in Carol. I'll be there today as well, 'cause, my professors also allowing me to do, like, extra credit on it too, so that kinda, like, boosts my grade up before, like, finals happen.
Okay.
Yeah. How are you guys feeling about finals right now? Be honest, it's okay.
Yeah, a little stressed. I have an accounting final that's, like, really, really big. Um, my grades haven't been the best in the past on tests, so I'm hoping that I'll do better on this one.
Mhm.
Honestly, for me, my stress is mainly, like, the work before finals. I really don't have, like, any finals, like, traditional finals. I think I only have, like, 1, and I'm not really worried about that one
Mhm.
'cause I'm pretty good with that class, so it's just really the work that's piled up, like, this week specifically that I'm trying to catch up on.
Mhm. Yeah, I feel like for me personally, like, I've caught up on, like, all my, papers and also, like, the tests I've had. The tests that I did before when I was, going into, like, the first part of my, first semester already, some of my tests were definitely, like, a big high, some of my other tests were, like, a very big low, so I'm kinda hoping that my overall, like, grades at the end of the semester stay really well remained, and I do, just because I need it kinda for the leadership positions I have right now, as, like, I'm already an e-board member, yeah, senator for SGA, Gil Guide, and also an orientation leader still.
I'm sure you'll be fine.
Yeah. Actually, fun fact about orientation leader, after I get back from Peru because I'm going on an admission trip, this upcoming semester, I come back and I actually have some, winter training for orientation because it's for some transfer students who are coming the next semester of the school year.
That's fun.
Yeah, and funny enough, actually, I have a friend I don't know if you guys know who he is because he went to the same school as, like, Lucas, Vinny, um, and then, like, Billy and those people, but one of my friends, Dominic Romano, um, he, was, um I met him through Vinny actually, funny enough, because 'cause they're in the same grade, and he's thinking about coming to Iona for next year because he's in community college right now, so I think it's a good way for, transfer students to, like, kinda get a good feel of, like, what a four-year college is gonna be like.
Okay.
Yeah, so and, pretty much too, like, with the whole entire semester and everything, like, I feel like personally for me, I think you guys have already seen it too, like, me becoming homecoming king, becoming a Gale guide finally, finishing up orientation, and then just, like, kinda coming through to being on, like, the keyboard now, I'm like, "Let's go."
You're
Has, being a Gale Guide been so far?
Easy. Much easier than really going through the process. I kinda forget about the script every now and then after a little while. I also haven't really done a lot of tours just 'cause, the e-board has kinda told, like, the new Gale guys that they don't really need to work right now until next semester.
Yeah, it's the same for me,
Yeah,
like, when I started.
and then, um and then I see, like, on the group chat, like, Johnny's just like, "Yo, guide availabilities at, like, 5 o'clock," and I see Ian Smith being like, "I'll take that tour." Like, every single time I see that group chat, like, Ian always takes that tour.
It's been Ian and Rowan.
For Ian and Rowan specifically. I think McKenna was trying to get one, but I think Rowan had stolen immediately from that point. But honestly, from, like, doing, like, open house, like, the tours I did twice by myself, and they were pretty fine, actually. Families loved me too. Um, when did you guys both become Yale Guides, if you don't mind me asking?
So, I actually technically became a Gale Guide at the end of my freshman year, but I didn't start working until the beginning of my sophomore year.
Mhm.
I actually started last year. I think it was the spring semester that I started.
I thought it was the fall.
It might be the fall. I'm, like, so bad with I believe it was the fall. And yeah, just I've been working ever since.
Yeah. So, I know you're a big, fan of SpongeBob the Musical and, like, the whole entire show and stuff. Can you give me some insight about that? Because funny enough, you literally just said that, when you were working on the musical, in your senior year of high school with Jason, that was SpongeBob, right?
Yes, it was
You
SpongeBob.
wanted to tell us a little bit about that?
Uh, yeah, I mean, like I said before, like, I really got to know Jen for that musical. Jen also got Sandy alongside me in that
Mhm.
musical, so, um, it was really fun though. It was a new experience for me. I mean, obviously by then I was kind of introduced to acting a little bit,
Mhm.
but I really hadn't done any solo singing on my own on stage
Yeah.
ever, so it was definitely scary at first trying to learn that. Also, I don't know if you've heard the soundtrack, but, like,
Yeah.
that's not an easy soundtrack to sing, so
No.
especially, like, right off the bat trying to, like, step into a role like that, that was a lot at first, and I was scared, especially since, like, I really love this franchise, and I don't wanna, like, disrespect it in any way,
Yeah.
but I'm overall really happy with how it came out. It was a really fun experience, and, it'll always be, like always be a moment for me that I cherish, you know? Like
Even if you messed up, like, you're not even gonna just disregard the whole franchise. I'm s pretty sure if Jason sees you, like, do one minor mistake, he's gonna be like, "It's okay."
yeah.
Well, that's cool, though. I mean, I've watched SpongeBob the Musical probably twice, but and the soundtrack is very, very good for that
Oh,
entire
yeah.
It
show.
is.
Yeah. I would love to do it here if that's a very possible thing to
I
do.
would love to do it
I
again.
listen, I'm down for a second run through of that one, yeah.
Yeah. Um, Actually, this is a funny question to ask. I've been kinda asking everybody around, like, to have them predict, like, what the next Iona Player show is gonna be after Wizard of Oz. Do you guys have a big prediction of what might come next?
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, like, it's kind of hard to, like, pinpoint it 'cause I feel like the way that shows are picked, it's very sporadic almost.
Mhm.
Uh we're going from this show, Sideshow, which I'm pretty sure is a much more grounded serious show to Wizard of Oz in
Yeah,
so it really could be anything
Man.
realistically.
yeah. I mean, personally, when I was, mentioning to a couple people, I mentioned Grease would be the next show that we would do,
I would love to
but
do
I
then
would
Grace.
I
love Grease.
but then I heard that Iona Players already did it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they did
So,
Grease.
um, and then I was thinking about Hairspray, and I'm like, "I don't know if we're gonna do
I
that."
Hairspray might be a lot harder.
Hairspray is like one of my dream shows. Greenblatt is one of my dream roles. I would love to be her. But
Yeah,
I highly doubt that we're gonna do it.
yeah. And then I was also kinda thinking about, like, Little Women or, like, Little Shop of Horrors
I
or,
would
like
love to do Little Shop of Horrors. The cast is really small for a little shop though,
Yeah, it
so that's
is.
gonna be hard to
do you
do.
have an ensemble for that?
No, not
Not
really.
really. I think the ensemble's like 3 people.
But
Really?
didn't they also
Damn.
do Little Shop here already?
I think so, yeah.
I'm pretty sure they did.
Is it so they've done, like, every show here for the past an
Well,
hour.
I mean, yeah, but they also did, like, Days of the Woods in Urinetown as well. Look, we
Did.
recently just did that, so
Yeah.
who knows? I mean, it's kinda that's what I'm saying, it's kinda hard to say.
Well, unfortunately, I wasn't really here for Into the Woods, but I know some other people that have visited Iona that did end up seeing that. I wasn't here for Into the Woods, but I did see Cabaret when I was first coming here 'cause, Iona, Performing Arts actually invited me and my mom to come see the show,
That's
That's
good.
nice.
and, I saw everybody on stage. Um, Everybody almost looked practically naked, including you 2, Tristan. Yeah, I'm looking at
Yeah.
you. Uh, and then I'm like, it's probably one of the most, like, sporadic, like, most sexual and, like, most funniest shows I've ever watched until I really start to see, like, the countdown of, like, how, like, like, after World War II really happens, and I'm like, "Damn, this show is a lot deeper than I
Yeah.
thought."
Yeah.
'Cause my mom was telling me about it. She saw Cabaret a long time ago 'cause it was on Broadway,
Mhm.
and, um, it wasn't too long after 'cause Rent came around a few years later, and my parents weren't really specifically big theater people at the time, um, but it wasn't really until they saw Rent until they started getting really into, like, musical Broadway, and then I think you guys already know this too, my dad, knows Anthony Rapp personally and works alongside, with Anthony Rapp and Adam Pascal because, my dad's a bass player, so, like, his side job is to kinda, like, be, like, the background, bass player for, like, a gig for, like, musical theater Broadway actors. He's done it for Anthony Rapp, Adam Pascal. He met Ben Platt at a poker game
Really?
before, wanna beat
Wow.
him. And then he met, like, movie actors as well. I think he looking at the actor of, Harry Potter's, original Voldemort, not the, like, the actual Voldemort, but, like, the kid before he became, like, a
Oh, okay.
Tom Riddle, and then, he also played when poker beat him too.
That's really cool.
Um, yeah, I mean, that just really goes down in history, and then, like, I ended up meeting Anthony Rapp, Adam Pascal, and it was never like, "Oh my god, Anthony Rapp!" Like, I already knew the guy, like, yeah,
That's so cool.
I was kind of already used to it, and then, like, after we did Rent, then we did Twelfth Night. I had no idea why we were doing a Shakespeare show until I kinda heard that it was a Broadway musical a few years back.
I don't think it was on Broadway.
It
I think
wasn't
it
on
was, like,
Broadway.
in off like, not off Broadway, but it was, like, its own production, I think.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was by, uh, theater company called Public Works?
Oh, it was
I don't
Public
remember.
Works,
I think
Yeah.
yeah.
it was yeah.
I think it might have been, like, off Broadway, 'cause I think I've seen that production business, like, around. I think that's, like, right by where, um actually funny enough, where Anthony Rapp did his own self-titled show Without You at.
Oh.
I don't remember what the name was, but, um, like, the theater, but I used to go see the Bubble show over there all the time.
Mm.
So, if that kinda rings the bell, that's kind of what I remember it as. And then, like, we did Urinetown afterward. Had no idea what the show was gonna be about. I thought it was gonna be about pee the whole entire time, and I was like, "Okay, sure, I'll go with it." And then I just kinda heard the message, and I'm like, and it actually ended up being a really, really good show.
It was really good.
I thought it was gonna be really, really stupid, but I'm
I
not
think it was a little bit of both. It was a happy medium between the 2.
yeah,
It was a lot of fun.
yeah,
It
and
was.
then now we're doing Sideshow, and I have no idea what the entire Broadway show is about, like, it's about, like, conjoined twins that are in a circus and, like, shenanigans start happening. I know it's a much more serious driven show, between,
Yeah,
like, what we're going from Urinetown to, like, Wizard of Oz next year.
and I
Mhm.
believe this one's based off of a true story actually
Mhm.
that happened.
Oh, no, I
So
know, 'cause, what's his name? 'Cause my callback is Harry Houdini. He was an actual,
yeah,
magician, in a circus, and I think, the name Sideshow came up in it somewhere, one way, shape, or form. I think that's actually legitimately what it was called, the
yeah.
circus, and then, uh, like, kind of is I feel like this show is gonna be kind of like more of like a series of events type of, theater Broadway show.
I think so, yeah.
And then for, Wizard of Oz, I mean, that's gonna be a super interesting show because 'cause I've talked about it with all my friends, and the one question they were gonna ask was like, "How are you guys gonna do the flying monkeys?"
Oh, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I'm sure there'll be cast members playing the
Yeah.
monkeys or something.
Like the ensemble
Yeah,
probably?
some of the
Probably.
ensemble probably. I actually myself have not seen I've seen the movie, I haven't seen the Broadway version of it, so I don't know if there's any differences. I know there's, like, a couple of new songs in the Broadway version that aren't in the original movie, but
Mhm.
other than that, I really don't know much about it.
Well, I mean, I watched the movie, I never really saw the Broadway show. I mean, unlike Wicked, which I don't know if you guys seen the movie yet, but I haven't seen it. Have
I
you guys
haven't
seen
seen
it?
it yet either.
I'm just gonna go see it with Jen after this weekend.
Really?
Yeah, we were gonna go tomorrow to see it, and I've literally had no time to actually sit down and watch the movie ever since it came out.
I've
Mhm.
I actually did see it, the weekend it opened. It's fantastic, like, I definitely recommend it, and it's also just really topical to do Wizard of Oz, and I'm pretty sure part 2 is coming out the same time we'll be doing Wizard
Yes.
of Oz,
Yeah.
so
Yeah, I just heard. I never really saw the second part to, Wizard of Oz or, like, Wicked.
Wicked? Mm.
Yeah, so I wanna see how that kinda comes about.
Have you seen Wicked on Broadway?
Of course. I saw it once, but, um,
You don't
never
remember it
really
much?
not too much, honestly, but I haven't seen the movie yet, so
Well, I mean, the movie is literally a retelling of the Broadway, like, musical,
Yeah,
and
it
they
is.
divided it into acts. So part 1 is act 1, part 2 is act 2. So,
Mhm.
if you remember the musical or the Broadway show, then probably gonna play out the same way.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But yeah.
yeah. I mean, in terms of the movie version, like, I can see, like, it's a lot more expanded. You kinda get to see what the world
Oh,
really,
yeah,
really
definitely.
looked like in that, unlike you kinda see in the Broadway show where they just have, like, the witch, like, flying around with, like, like, with the hangers and whatever. And then, yeah, I definitely wanna see it, so no spoilers, please.
Yeah,
And then,
promise.
yeah, s actually, very curious question. What is your favorite Broadway show right now that's still on Broadway?
On Broadway.
Yeah, like, still on Broadway. We can't own the rights to it. It's still going on.
Probably Great Gatsby.
Great that's a great show.
It was really good.
Mhm.
Honestly, I think for me, like, I saw Back to the Future last summer. I know it's not on Broadway right now, I believe they took it off, like, a few days ago, but technically, I don't think the rights are still up for that. So, probably Back to the Future, honestly, that was such a great show.
Never saw it. My friend wanted to see it with me, I just never got the chance, but I think it's still on Broadway right now,
Right?
actually.
Yeah, I
I
thought that
think
closed in January.
January, yes, yes, you're right. So,
Oh,
yeah,
really?
Back to the Future.
Oh. I thought they were gonna, like, close in a month, 'cause I just had a conversation with my friend about it, and he said that they were gonna close in, like, January, December.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think I think they're gonna be closing in January, but I also heard that they were transferring to, like, cruise ships or something similar to Hairspray, because I saw Hairspray over the summer on, my cruise line, that was really cool.
That's actually pretty cool.
Jealous.
Um, actually, a little funny thing about Urinetown, 'cause they're, making a little bit of a remake, off Broadway in the
Yes,
city,
Yes, they
with,
are.
Jordan
and
Fisher.
I'm thinking of
Mhm.
seeing it because Jordan Fisher's on it too, and McKenna, is a big fan of Jordan Fisher too, so she definitely wants to see it with me, and plus we already know the show 'cause she was stage crew and that I was in it,
Oh,
so
yeah, I'm sure it'll be cool to see, like a professional production of the show after
Mhm.
you did it, like,
yeah.
No,
this
I would
semester.
love to see it.
Well, I mean, even too, like, Jordan Fisher, even as an actor and also doing, like, Broadway too, I mean, yeah, I mean, that kid's a natural for sure.
I love him so much.
I also feel like he's done most of the shows we've done, 'cause I believe he did Rent as well,
He
he
did
was
He
Rent.
did
Marley,
do
yeah.
Rent.
Yeah. He did a lot of Broadway shows, a lot more than I thought, and McKenna also saw Rent with, Jordan Fisher in it too, so,
Mhm.
yeah. He's a pretty good actor, I gotta
He
He
say.
is,
is.
he is.
And then I've also, like, seen him so much, like, 'cause I follow him on, Twitch and also YouTube too, and he does so much live streams of, like, playing games.
Mm.
Like, I remember this one time when, like, I was watching Among Us a long time ago, and, like, people, like, berating him about, like, his acting skills and, like, him being so, like, crazy as an imposter at the game, but I'm like, "That's how Jordan Fisher is." Like, he's an actor, he's very, like, well like, very well put at, like, doing improvising
Yeah,
and stuff,
Yeah.
so if you guys had to pick, and I don't know if this is gonna be too cliche to ask 'cause Sideshow's about to come up, who do you think will be actually, like, casted in the roles, like, for their parts? I'm not saying that they won't be in the show, but I'm saying that who do you think who will get the parts in this show? 'Cause I don't know the characters that well.
I feel like you know it a little better than me.
I mean, I don't know, that's kinda hard.
That
It's
is
like
hard.
there's an immense amount of talent within the players, so I feel like it's almost unfair to, like, pre-cast almost with that,
Oh, yeah,
especially
that's
since,
true.
like, I'd also have to rewatch the show honestly to fully tell you, 'cause there are a lot of characters that are, like, in it consistently, and there's some that are just in ensemble, so I really don't know, like, what would qualify someone to be, like, part of ensemble, you know?
Mhm.
So, I honestly just I don't know, it could go either way,
It could.
to be honest, though.
Yeah, that's fair. No, my bad about that, but
No, you're
No,
good.
you're fine.
I think what's funny though about an ensemble though is that you kinda get to create your own character while you're in the background, 'cause I
Yes.
Agreed.
remember when I was in Rent, as one of the homeless characters, when I was the squeegee guy, I really didn't feel like I had to really make my own character. I just feel like he was really who he was, and
Mhm.
he was, like, kinda around this like, the city, like, kinda cleaning up, like, the very bad, sideways street block areas of, like, the Lower East Side, and it just kind of portrays very well, like, who we are and, like, what other, um and how other people view, like, Broadway and stuff, so kinda looking forward to see what, like what other shows we do in the future, or, like, what players does even after we graduate.
Mhm.
Because even to mention as well, like, somebody like, Brennan Martinez or even Joey Callanan or anybody else that has, been in players that, just graduated. I mean, they were good examples of, like, being like, taking any part in their show and, like, kinda putting it into their own perspective. Because I remember watching Brendan, performing Cabaret, and I just saw him, and he was, like, a natural on stage. I was like, "Whoa," like, I mean, I'm an actor, but that's, like, really heavy acting right
Brendan
there.
was very good, right?
I was like,
He was.
"Whoa." And then, like, after I talked to him during, when I was auditioning, he, ended up mentioning that he only had just started doing acting in, college, and I was like,
Really? I didn't know that.
Wow.
or, like, his senior in high school as well, and I was like,
Oh,
"Are you serious? Like, you're like, dude, you're a natural, honestly." And funny enough, I actually did Wizard of Oz a long time back, and I actually, played the lion in the show.
oh, that's
Aw.
perfect for you.
So, if I get that character in the show, I wouldn't be surprised, but, I mean, again, like, I go for a show, and I just kinda take whoever I get, 'cause as long as I get in, that's really all I care about. I feel like you
Yeah.
guys would say the same thing
No, yeah,
too.
definitely.
Is there anyone that you're tryna really go for Wizard of Oz, like, that you're really excited to play?
The lion for
The
sure.
lion?
Um, I feel like I would definitely be the lion, the hair, and I feel like also, like, the crazy, goofy personality. I mean, they all do besides Dorothy, but, that's a really, really good group of, cast members for the show. So, I can't I'm very excited to see what they do.
Oh,
Um,
I feel like we're gonna knock it out of the park this week.
yeah,
Definitely, yeah.
I feel like that's also gonna be a show that, like, everybody knows more of because I didn't really know of Sideshow till now.
I
I mean,
didn't either.
I knew of the events, but I didn't really know about it being a musical play.
Yeah, and we, like it was kinda the same, honestly, for, like, Year in Town for us, 'cause, like, we knew about it. Funny enough, we manifested Urinetown since high school.
We did.
'Cause after we did SpongeBob, we were like, "Oh, it would be so funny if we did this show," 'cause we heard there was a show called Urinetown, there's, like, a song with the pee and everything, and, like, Jen specifically was just, like, always, like, bringing it up, and she was like, "Yeah, you know, it'd be a privilege if we could do this show. Yeah, yeah, yeah," and then we finally got to do it, and I'm like, "You manifested it,
Oh,
so."
yeah. No, we always how, the show was literally called You're in Town, and the only song that we knew from it was It's a Privilege to
Yeah,
Be,
those
but we
2.
never even, like, actually listened to it. We just knew the name of it. After, like, actually listening to the song, I'm like, it's actually a pretty good song.
Most of the songs are actually really, really catchy and good.
They are, yeah.
I remember the first time I listened to the soundtrack for it when we were, auditioning initially, um, I wasn't too crazy about the soundtrack initially, um, and honestly, I didn't even see myself as Bobby when I first, like, was listening to it. I thought someone else was gonna fully get that,
Mhm.
and then I think, I don't know, just being able to after I got the call back for Bobby and performing his songs myself and taking my own spin on it, I was like, "This actually could be a fun character." 'Cause, like, if you really think about it, like, when I was watching the show, all I could think of was just a mix of SpongeBob and Les Mis.
It really
And
is.
We do Les Mis
Les Mis
here.
would be
I would
really
love
good
to do
Oh
Les
too.
Mis.
that's gonna be such a very, like, heavy and sporadic show to do
And that's a
on
big cast.
that's
Yeah.
a very big cast to do, like, that's gonna take up the whole entire stage.
That'd be great to do though as, like, a send off to, even, like, if it's, like, our senior year to do, like, a send off to that, that'd be really cool.
Agreed.
Mhm. And then, God, there was one other thing I was gonna say, and I completely forgot what I was gonna say. Oh, yeah. If you, like I mean, you getting Bobby for it, I mean, I kinda knew either way you were gonna get one of the main roles, but, like, even if you got, like, any of the other male roles in the show, I feel like you still could, like, play it and, like, also portray it in any way, shape, or form just 'cause I know you personally, like, you stick more to a tenor range. So, if you were anybody like Billy Boy Bill, that Jonathan got, I think that would be probably one of the most strangest things I would ever hear in my life. but I gotta say though, Jonathan is Billy Boy Bill
Oh,
doing
he
the
was
"I'm
amazing.
not
He was so
He was
good.
sorry."
He was
amazing.
so
I
good.
loved
Oh
him.
my god.
Nah, everybody in Urinetown was really, really good, but I gotta tell you, we did so many run-throughs of that show too.
Oh,
I
yeah.
know.
Mhm.
Yeah, but,
I
uh
remember we didn't even have the show together until, like, the last day, really.
That's what I was thinking about just because of how early it came, and I'm like, "I'm not sure if we're ready for the show to start yet."
Sometimes that's the best way to put shows on,
Yeah, but
Yeah,
that's
under
like
it
that
is.
pressure.
Yeah.
I think the second weekend was probably our best weekend yet, but we barely had an audience because everyone came to see it the first weekend.
Yeah, and then, I think I think was it that weekend or the next weekend? It was homecoming weekend.
The first weekend
The
was
first
homecoming
weekend was
weekend.
homecoming.
Well, that's
Also, we did get quite a bit for, like, the final show. We
We
had,
yeah,
like,
did,
that's
we
that's
did.
300
what I was
people.
gonna say. Oh, somebody from California is calling me.
You have to tell him you're doing the Gil Pod right now.
Oh, yeah, he'll figure it out.
Tyler.
I don't even live there. What do you mean bring me back over there?
You give California vibes.
Oh,
You
yeah.
do.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
you totally give Cali vibes.
It's the hair, isn't it?
It's just your whole, like, just demeanor, honestly, like
I mean, like, with the whole outfit I have, I mean, I love to skate, I love to surf as well, I love to play ball. I'm actually literally gonna play ball after we, do the winter concert, 'cause I, saw, you guys know Liam Scott Vandenberg, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I ran up into him and, he was working, he was on his break, and, he was about to go get Dunkin'. He was like, "Alright, Imma try to come to the winter concert, and then after it's Imma play ball and do my workout, 'cause I'll have time at that time. And if you're around there, I'll definitely see you around that time." And I'm like, "Matter of fact" Are you okay?
Yeah, no, sorry. Just the wire was bothering me, so I wanted to bring it to the other side so I can move around more because I felt stuck. Sorry.
That was funny. No, you're good, you're good. Um, and then afterwards, I was just like, "Yo, Liam, I think I'm gonna try working out at that time. You wanna play ball after?" She was like, "Yeah, I'll play ball. Let's go, bro." And he was like, "Got it." Oh god, yeah. But in terms of, like, other than Iona players and, like, performing arts stuff, because I know, like, I mainly know you guys through that too, but I'm sure there's probably, like, other and I should have asked this way earlier. There's probably, like, other organizations you guys are part of besides the performing arts, I'm sure, right? Like Gale Guide,
Yeah.
and then I
Yeah.
know you're trying to apply for the RA
Yeah,
position.
I am trying to apply for RA, right now, so hopefully it goes well.
Yeah, and then, what else for you?
There's really not, like, anything else for me, like, performing arts and Gil Dance are, like, the main things I do, but I am trying to get an internship at the
Okay.
moment, so
Yeah.
it's in the works.
I'm trying to do that too, but except I can't really find an internship right now that's really paying at the moment. They're all kind of like, um, kinda like volunteering and, like, doing study work.
What are you looking to do?
I'm kinda looking to go more towards, like, either the media or, like, doing some, teaching for, like, kids that wanna know how to write songs.
Aw.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
nice.
So I'm trying to look for some, like, internship program for that. I know the career fair was, sending some of those, but I just wasn't sure if I, like, had enough time just because right now, I'm working as a ski instructor upstate after
Ooh.
this,
Oh, wow.
and then, uh, when I come back, I'm gonna be working as a Yale guide. I'll actually have my actual shifts that I have to do, and I know that'll, like, work around my schedule. And then, for the summer, that's when I'll really start trying to see if I can, like, do an internship, like, right there and then, and hopefully it's, like, a paid if not, then I'm gonna try to find, like, a job in the city that, like, pays, like, over minimum wage because when I was working as a camp counselor, I was getting paid, like, pretty well, but not as much as I was, like, kind of expecting in a way.
I
Yeah, we
feel
we
that.
were both camp counselors over the summer, and we did not get paid minimum wage.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You guys didn't get paid minimum wage
we
at
got
all?
paid
No.
below.
Yikes.
Wow.
It's rough out here.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, weren't you working with Mary over the
Yeah, I
summer?
worked with Mary over the summer. We worked at a camp where we went on field trips every single day, and, like, there were days when we worked, like, literally 12 hours straight, like, we went to Six Flags one time, like, our start time was, like, 7:45, and we would get back at, like, 7:45 at night.
Damn. You guys were out there much later.
Yeah,
Mhm.
because it's also, like, not close to New York either, like, it's probably a 2-hour drive.
Mhm.
So, most of the day was spent, like, on the bus getting to and from, but it was fun overall.
Was this camp, like, a camp that you went to in the past?
No, so it's in Eastchester, and it's only for people that live in Eastchester, Bronxville, or Tuckahoe. I live in Yonkers, so I couldn't do it, and the
Yeah.
only reason that I heard about the camp was because of Mary, so we actually started working at the camp together, and this was our 4th year of working there together.
Oh, nice. So you've been working there for a while
Yeah,
then?
that was my 4th year, but it's also probably my last year too, because I wanna try to do an internship next summer.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna do the same thing too, 'cause this is the first year I was working at a new camp. I was working at another camp in the city called Oasis, and I was working and volunteering at another camp called Trinity, which is more of like a Catholic holy, uh, camp at my, at like, around where I live, and then, I was also working as a, well, I'm currently still working as a ski instructor during the winters. It's wintertime right now, but also during around the springtime every now and then, I help kind of volunteer for, like, the sports programs that I was involved in back at, the city as well, and, like, playing basketball, soccer, baseball, or even hockey, 'cause I played almost probably every sport growing up too. I'm also, like, very, very athletic.
Wow, look at you.
I don't know about Ryan Murphy athletic, but, like, well, I'm, like, very, very athletic, and then I like, it wasn't until I started getting into skateboarding that I kinda, like, completely, like, got into my whole aesthetic, 'cause then I started, like, buying so many baggy clothes, and then, like, started getting into this phase that I would start drinking, like, Monster every now and then, that stopped, and then, you guys actually don't know about this, but you guys do do you ever guys oh, I can't speak today.
It's okay.
I'm gonna be honest with you guys, I did not have a great night's sleep last night, so
No, I honestly didn't either.
yeah, no, I gotta tell you though, so me and my sweetmates last night, we did a hot sauce challenge.
Oh.
Oh, so I'm sure that's nothing, right?
Ah, we did one before. It wasn't a ghost pepper one, but it was, like, a more mild one, but this is kinda more to, like, a more, like, expert challenge. I took, like, a very minimum of it. My lips were burning and my mouth was on fire, but, like, I was taking it like a champ, and then
Good for you.
I woke up in the morning, I start shivering out of nowhere. I was like, "No." Like, my body's shaking. It's not even cold in the room.
Oh,
They turned off the cold air in the room too, and the heater's on, and I know this is recording, so, I mean, this is not too crazy to talk about, but, like but no, like, I was shaking in the morning, and I was like, "I need to turn on the heater right now." So, I was able to calm down, and I was like, that was the after effects, so I'm never ever taking another pepper hot sauce after that ever again. Also, it was Gil with the camera and Nick that also made me try it too, and I
mm.
was like, "Alright." Um, but, what else was I gonna mention too? Not about the, not about the hot sauce or the shivering. Oh god, it just actually left the tip of my tongue, and I actually forgot what I was gonna mention.
That always happens.
Oh, so you know when you guys would ever, like, see me around with, like, a Celsius in my hand or whatever?
Yeah,
Yeah.
like always.
That I completely stopped.
Really?
Yeah, there's actually a specific reason why I stopped it. So, I know you guys probably actually noticed that I wasn't at Singers on Wednesday.
Well, singers' rehearsal was actually canceled. We
Yeah,
Oh,
didn't
was it
singer
have
yeah,
it,
actually?
yeah,
singers was canceled.
Oh,
yeah.
for what?
We had, some performance at, was it President Carey's
Yeah, we
house?
sang at President Carey's house.
Yeah.
Oh, that's what you guys did, 'cause everybody's been talking about Husband Carey.
Yeah, we performed at his house, and then we went to, the chapel that's, like, right near that house.
Mhm.
So we were practicing for the concert tonight, actually. Yeah.
How far was that, to President Carey's house,
It's
like, from
actually
Iona?
it's right on campus. You know, like,
Yeah.
where the mini chapel is, like,
Oh,
right
right,
near
yes.
Yeah,
East?
the one right
Yeah.
behind East.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
if you walk a little further up, his house is, like, right there.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah, the chapel's also where, Ryan Murphy does his, like,
Taizé, yeah.
Taizé,
Taizé, yeah.
yeah.
I've gone to Zay's a few times, actually.
I went to my first one on Tuesday. It was actually really nice.
It was nice for sure. I mean, I love going to those and also church too, because I think you both probably already know this too, but I also am, like, a very huge believer in, like, God and always, like, study, like, the Bible and, like, kind of, like, try to put him first in my life every single day because I try to not, like, let anything from, like, the devil or, like, the temptations get in, like, the way of what I'm trying to pursue in his image, and I think for me, in a way, that's super beautiful too because I've grown up in a Catholic household all of my life. Like, my mom, grew up with, my, grandfather who was very religious, went to church every single Sunday. I went to Sunday school, got, I ended up getting, receiving communion, I got confirmed as well, and I was just like after, middle school, I ended up kinda continuing my relationship with him to see what that would go towards, and it wasn't always perfect, but I feel like now as I'm an adult and, like, I'm at a very, like, Catholic school here, I feel like that brings me much more, closer to him too, so I'm not sure what your guys' like, beliefs in God are, or, like, in terms of religion, but no matter what, I'm always, like, able to listen and, like, hear what you guys have to say about it, so
Oh, no, I feel the same way as you. I also grew up in a Catholic household. I went to Catholic school all my life, got both my communion and got confirmed, so
Yeah. What about you?
Um, I mean, I went to a Catholic high school, so, like, I was kinda taught everything that I wasn't throughout childhood. My family's not really big on it. I have, like, the most religious person in my family is probably my grandmother,
Mhm.
um, but even then, like, I don't really visit her enough to, like I don't know, like, I've never had that kinda connection. Um, I definitely have, like, my beliefs and stuff, but it hasn't been anything, like, point of, like, like, I don't go to church, frequently or anything, but again, I'm kinda, like, in the middle, like, like, I have my own beliefs, uh, and yeah,
Well, I
kind
mean,
of
I'm
doing it.
also sure too, like I'm sure you can speak for this as well. I mean, everybody also has their personal life
Yeah.
too. Even if you
Yeah.
can't make it to church on Sunday or if, like, you have other things going on, I mean, that's really for your responsibility and also for, like, everybody else to kind of take into, consideration as well too, so, I mean,
Mhm.
I completely understand that, yeah. And no matter what for those people, 'cause I always I always every single day before and after, the day's over, I always pretty much pray and go to sleep and just make sure that, everybody drives back safe, that everybody is doing well, everybody's pretty much ate well, and, like, making sure that, like, a new day comes. So, 'cause in a way, I always try to see it as, like, a new day is always, like, another beginning. So, for those that are, like, struggling with, like, mental health or, like, in terms of college right now, like, roommate problems or, like, also tuition or grades or, um, losing any positions they have here on campus, I mean, that stuff that stuff happens sometimes. In a way, nobody can really do anything about it. I mean, all I can really do is just pray for those people because I think that's really like, my best way of helping too. I've seen that for, like, every other person on campus too, that they've had, like, their own belief in God, like, I've had this conversation not with you guys, I've had this conversation with Lucas, had this conversation with Liam, and, Brendan, Jared as well, and, like, my, suite mates, a couple of my friends, even my girlfriend is a huge believer in, like, Bible and also has some, like, Sunday school and also, like, retreats too, so, it's pretty cool. So, just hope that, everything, like, comes according to plan,
yeah.
and that's part of the reason why, in my belief, like, everything is made in front of us right here for a reason too, so
I'm a very strong believer that everything happens for a reason.
that's what I'm saying.
Like, I think that if I didn't go to Iona, I wouldn't be the person that I am today because I didn't wanna go to Iona. I was like, I'm getting out of New York, I'm getting out of Westchester, and the only college that I applied to that was in Westchester was where I wound up going.
Yeah, well, I'm pretty sure too, like, in terms of, like, tuition scholarship, like, Iona was the choice. I mean, it was the same thing for me too, except I really did wanna come here because this ended up becoming, my favorite school out of, like, the 12 or 13 schools I looked at. I looked at Adelphi, I looked at Marist, I looked at, Pace University, I looked at, SUNY New Paltz,
I looked there too.
I looked at, SUNY Purchase, I, saw Fairleigh Dickinson University, and so many other schools, and I got accepted to every single one, but it's like, Iona's community just felt so welcoming, and, like, now that I'm here for 2 years, like, my mind still has not changed off from that, but what did change, though, is that I'm not coming in to school anymore not knowing what I'm not doing, like, I'm coming in now knowing what I am doing. That's why I was an orientation leader for the summer to get those to remember and know me as who I am and also to bring a good representation to the school too.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm sure, like, even for both of you, 'cause you're all both are also student leaders too, you guys can probably see the same exact thing too. So, yeah. Sorry, I just feel like I said a lot over there.
No,
I
you're
want
good.
No.
Yeah, no, no.
like, if you guys wanna say anything, if you guys wanna, like, have the floor, like, completely open up and, like, talk about anything you want to.
I don't know, I feel like we need a conversation starter.
Yeah. I think you're doing great right
You are doing great. You are
now. Doing
doing
a
a
great
good job.
job.
It's just like I'm, like, talking to you guys are just, like, trying to think of other things to talk about too.
No,
Um,
you're good.
Well, but this is your podcast, though.
that's fair. That's fair. I also just try to make it open up to, like, what, you guys also, like, wanna mention too on a podcast as well. So, which is why I'm glad I brought up, theater and music as
Yes.
well.
Well, I
'Cause
mean, do you have any other, like, hobbies that you've been doing on the side
well, I mean,
recently?
other hobbies in terms of, like, other than theater and music, I mean, I'm currently actually I can't believe I'm about to say this actually. After finals, I'm thinking about actually starting my own YouTube channel
Oh, look at
Oh, you'd
you.
be awesome.
You guys.
soon. I'm trying to think about, like, starting to do, like, covers and then, like, also, like, cool videos to do, like, around, like, places I wanna go to, and then, like, I don't know what else, but I kinda wanna also do it as a career in case that also becomes, like, my job, like, in a way, I kinda wanna let that expand and become, like, something I wanna be a part of too.
Will you remember me when you're famous?
No,
Wow.
no, so people are gonna be like, "Wait, Tyler's Gil Podcast," and I'm like, I don't know what you guys talking about, I
Wait,
don't know.
Tyler Gill of the Gil Pod?
I mean, sure, if you that's why I want. No, I just like, the time when I went to players and, like, everybody was just like, "The Gil Podcast, can I be on your podcast?" And I'm like, "Oh, yeah, sure, one more than one time, absolutely, yeah,
It's a
sure."
big deal around here.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Like, ever since John mentioned it, like, I ended up being the one that, like, everybody ended up going to for the podcast too. And I remember on the bus too, you were listening on the from, Iona Singers, you were listening to In Too Deep by Sum 41.
Oh,
And
yeah.
I was like, "Let's go." And then Sean looked back at me, he was like, "Wait, Tyler, you have a podcast?" I'm like, "How do you know that?" And he was
We
like
actually saw Sean today, right before we came
Yeah.
up here, and he mentioned that on the bus on the way to Radio City, you guys were talking about that.
Mhm.
yeah, I wanted to try and get him on the show. I know at these times too, he also has work. I'm like, "If you ever wanna watch the show, like, YouTube is, like, right on there." Like, we have the WIUR channel for a reason. I think I sent you the link to it
You did,
too.
and we also do have a couple people watching right now, I know.
Oh my
Yes.
god,
Yes,
wait,
we
who's
do.
watching?
Julia and Emily are watching
Oh
it.
my god, I'm cooked. Who else?
I think Remy might be watching
Oh
it.
my god,
John is
really?
probably watching
John is
it right
probably
now.
Oh,
watching
Sean,
it.
John WIR, bro, another episode.
Hello, viewers.
Oh god, nah. That's funny. Did you tell people about the episode too, that it was on
Yes.
today? That's
They
cool.
did. They asked if it was streaming live, and I was like, "Yeah, it is, you guys can watch it."
That's good. Were you, like, able to, like, send the link to everybody
Yeah,
too, including him?
yeah.
That's good. Yeah, because if you guys ever wanna watch more episodes, I'm not sure what the schedule is gonna look like for the next semester. I'll probably do it again at the same time at 1:00, um, just 'cause I don't have any classes on Friday. Trying to see what time it is. Um, gonna end it in a few minutes, but, um, I'll probably end up doing it around the same time just
Okay.
'cause I try to make my schedule on Fridays a lot more, like, not packed.
You have Friday classes this semester?
No. I have no Friday
Good
classes
for
this
you.
semester. I do have, like, a tutor session for CAP, um, during, like, 10 o'clock on the on Fridays. Sorry, I was about to burp. Uh, jeez, a hot sauce is getting to me still. And then, after that, like, this is when I, like, usually have the shows, and then, um, that pretty much just kinda gets me to, like, afterwards just kinda do anything else around, campus or, like, off of campus. But I know, today I have a lot we have a lot going on, after this just 'cause of the show, and then afterwards we
Yeah.
have Christmas Carol, which honestly to me probably won't really seem as crazy.
No,
So,
honestly, I'm excited, like, I'm
yeah.
excited to watch the, metal ensemble and vocal ensemble concert.
Oh, yeah.
Emily's has a solo, she told me, so
You have a
Oh.
solo?
Emily does have a solo.
You're a killer stuff
I know
real
she's
quick.
also borrowing my flats. No, but I'm going to
Y'all are so
Just outing her, that's crazy.
sorry, Em, I love you.
so silly.
No, I'm going to support her, I'm gonna go support you, support Molly,
Mhm.
everyone else in vocal ensemble and instrumental ensemble, and then we have lessons and carols tonight, so a
I'll
lot to
be
look
I'll be
forward
there too,
to.
I guess.
Well, how was Lessons in Carol working again tonight? I forget how that works.
I'm pretty sure, it's in Romita? No.
Art? The lessons in carol? No,
Yeah.
it's an Aragoni.
Aragoni.
Okay.
And typically they'll I thought you were at the last one for
Well, no,
last
I
year.
think it's a little different this year because, we're collabing with the Office of Mission and Ministries, so I
Oh.
think,
But it's
like,
about the
it's pretty much the same concept, I know that, like, at 6:30 they're doing, like, a prelude, and then at 7 is when, like, actual performances start, and I think they're also doing, like, a couple readings in between the performances.
Are we singing at the prelude?
No, like,
Oh.
I think that's just the Office of Mission
She
and
knows more than
Ministry.
me. She's like
Oh, Ryan is also the one that told me about it yesterday, so that's the only reason why I know.
Well, he's the president of it, so there you go. I love how he's trying out for the show.
I know,
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
I'm
I'm
so
really
happy
excited.
he is.
He also got a call back, so
I think he got it for the same as
yeah,
you.
he
You
got
got
it the same as me. I might be cut, guys.
Oh, really? I heard, Jason, told me that he got the same, callback that I did for
Sir?
Houdini.
Bauman
Ryan.
Bauman, you're saying?
Yeah.
Jason got Sir.
Oh, no, Jason got Sir, but I'm saying that Ryan got,
Ryan got
Oh, yes,
Houdini.
yes,
Yeah,
yes.
I also got
You got Houdini
I got Houdini and Buddy.
Oh, you got you didn't tell me you got Houdini. I thought you just got Buddy.
Yeah, I got Houdini and Buddy. Huh?
You're leaving some things out.
I told him in the beginning of the podcast.
You did not say that.
I said Houdini and Buddy.
Did you really?
I did say it when
Oh,
you asked.
you probably said it fast. I didn't hear that. My brain's working too quick.
Tyler, lock in.
It's time to lock in. Oh, God. But, no, I remember, Ryan was telling me about the Lessons in Carol, which I knew about today just 'cause Vocal Ensemble, I think, might be performing in it. But I'm gonna go to it regardless just 'cause he invited me to, and I'm just like, it's Ryan Murphy, so why not? So
You can't say no to Ryan Murphy.
no. I think I've done it probably a few times
I
already, so
I have said no a couple
Yeah.
times to Ryan Murphy.
Ryan finds you.
He does. It's like
Yeah.
Santa.
That's the best comparison you got?
You know, it's also for the Christmas season.
Okay,
Yeah.
I see.
But I remember he was texting me about it yesterday, and he was just like, alright, bet you're gonna be performing, nice. Tell McKenna about it too, and I'm like, bet.
Listen, we wanna get the word around.
Yeah. We're just not too sure if Vocal Ensemble is performing in it though today, 'cause, um, w 'cause today, I don't know if our, professor, Julian Willis, is gonna be there, but I know that, I know you guys are performing
Yeah.
in both the performances, and then also, um, Christmas Carol too. And then for me, I know it's just a winter concert, but if I just end up going and if both ensembles performs, I'm just like, "Okay, I'll be ready, I'll be locked in." So, what time is it? I think I'm gonna end the podcast now just because I do my call time is specifically 2:30, so I
Okay.
kinda wanna get ready.
Yeah, no problem.
So, thank you both for being on the show
Well, thank you
today.
for having
Thank you for
us.
having us.
I'm very glad you guys came on the show and asked me too, so, it's definitely my pleasure.
It was a lot of fun.
Good. Alright, before we end this, I'm gonna close this out with a prayer. Um, I know I'm the one always doing it, but if one of you guys wanna close it off, or if you wanna close it off,
Don't look
I
at
don't
me.
I mean, I can close it off.
Okay, yeah, sure. Alright.
Alright, Lord, we thank you for this opportunity. We thank you for, all of the events that we had this week, as well as our IE and vocal ensemble concert later and Lessons and Carols concert, and we ask for your blessings for all that's to come in the future.
Amen.
Amen.
Yeah. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you for being on my show, and peace out, y'all. Oh my god, my ears.